Welcome. Today we will be reading Lesson 228 in the workbook and from the text, Chapter 19, Section 4D, the fourth obstacle, the fear of God, paragraphs 1 through 7. And now for Lesson 228. God has condemned me not, no more do I. My Father knows my holiness. Shall I deny his knowledge and believe in what his knowledge makes impossible? Shall I accept as true what he proclaims as false? Or shall I take his word for what I am, since he is my Creator and the one who knows the true condition of his Son? Father, I was mistaken in myself because I failed to realize the source from which I came. I have not left that source to enter in a body and to die. My holiness remains a part of me as I am part of you. And my mistakes about myself are dreams. I let them go today, and I stand ready to receive your word alone for what I really am. One's source, one's creator, is love itself, and love does not condemn. For one has been but mistaken about one's true nature. Being created as an extension of love, one is only love. The love that one is cannot condemn, attack, or judge anyone or anything. When one does condemn, one must be imagining oneself as something that one is not. Eternal love knows one's everlasting, loving nature. For holiness created one holy and innocent. And the guiltless do not attack or condemn. Now one is freed to receive the guidance of the voice of love, and turn over all unloving thoughts that block one's knowing of the eternal. And now our text reading for today from Chapter 19, Section 4D, the fourth obstacle, the fear of God, paragraphs 1 through 7. What would you see without the fear of death? What would you feel and think if death held no attraction for you? Very simply, you would remember your Father, the creator of life, the source of everything that lives, the Father of the universe, and of the universe of universes, and of everything that lies even beyond them, would you remember? And as this memory rises in your mind, peace must still surmount a final obstacle, after which is salvation completed, and the Son of God entirely restored to sanity. For here your world does end. The fourth obstacle to be surmounted hangs like a heavy veil before the face of Christ. Yet as his face rises beyond it, shining with joy because he is in his Father's love, peace will lightly brush the veil aside and run to meet him and to join with him at last. For this dark veil, which seems to make the face of Christ himself like to a leper's, and the bright rays of his Father's love that light his face with glory, appear as streams of blood, fades in the blazing light beyond it, when the fear of death is gone. This is the darkest veil, upheld by the belief in death and protected by its attraction. The dedication to death and to its sovereignty is but the solemn vow, the promise made in secret to the ego, never to lift this veil, not to approach it, nor even to suspect that it is there. This is the secret bargain made with the ego to keep what lies beyond the veil forever blotted out and unremembered. Here is your promise never to allow union to call you out of separation. The great amnesia in which the memory of God seems quite forgotten. The cleavage of yourself from you. The fear of God. The final step in your dissociation. See how the belief in death would seem to save you. For if this were gone, what could you fear but life? It is the attraction of death that makes life seem to be ugly, cruel, and tyrannical. You are no more afraid of death than of the ego. These are your chosen friends. For in your secret alliance with them, you have agreed never to let the fear of God be lifted, so you could look upon the face of Christ and join him in his Father. Every obstacle that peace must flow across is surmounted in just the same way. The fear that raised it yields to the love beyond, and so the fear is gone. And so it is with this. The desire to get rid of peace and drive the Holy Spirit from you fades in the presence of the quiet recognition that you love him. The exaltation of the body is given up in favor of the Spirit, which you love as you could never love the body. And the appeal of death is lost forever as love's attraction stirs and calls to you. From beyond each of the obstacles to love, love itself has called, and each has been surmounted by the power of the attraction of what lies beyond. Your wanting fear seemed to be holding them in place. Yet when you heard the voice of love beyond them, you answered and they disappeared. And now you stand in terror before what you swore never to look upon. Your eyes look down, remembering your promise to your friends. The loveliness of sin, the delicate appeal of guilt, the holy waxen image of death, and the fear of vengeance of the ego you swore in blood not to desert. All rise and bid you not to raise your eyes. For you realize that if you look on this and let the veil be lifted, they will be gone forever. All of your friends, your protectors, and your home will vanish. Nothing that you remember now will you remember. It seems to you the world will utterly abandon you if you but raise your eyes. Yet all that will occur is you will leave the world forever. This is the re-establishment of your will. Look upon it open-eyed, and you will never more believe that you are at the mercy of things beyond you. Forces you cannot control, and thoughts that come to you against your will. It is your will to look on this. No mad desire, no trivial impulse to forget again, no stab of fear, nor the cold sweat of seeming death can stand against your will. For what attracts you from beyond the veil is also deep within you, unseparated from it and completely one. We see in this section that every obstacle to peace is overcome by replacing fear with the love beyond it. The first obstacle of desiring to get rid of peace is passed through by recognizing one's love for the Holy Spirit. The second obstacle is surpassed by recognizing that one loves the Spirit in a way that one cannot love the body. And in the third obstacle, the attraction to death is overcome by noticing one's stronger attraction to love. In each situation, the love beyond the ego's attractions stepped in and freed one from insanity. And having surmounted these obstacles, one now stands in terror before the final obstacle, the one that was concealed by the others. For facing this obstacle, one will need to release all alliances, associations, and agreements one has made with the ego forever and always.